It's a few questions, 5 questions to be exact, that everybody should ask themselves before they think about getting into tech. So by the end of this, I'm gonna tell you what the 5 questions is and what the answers are to those, and some steps forward on what you need to do to make sure that you break into tech. If not by the end of 2025, by summer 2026. It's Rob from PasTechCerts.com, and I help people just like you pass tech certs and start awesome tech careers. So it's a few questions that I get damn near every week. Sometimes it's from somebody fresh out of high school. Sometimes it's from a 38-year-old who's tired of working 2, even 3 jobs. Sometimes it's from a soldier who's about to ETS. Sometimes it's from a soldier who's trying to get promoted. Sometimes it's from somebody in healthcare. Sometimes it's from a school teacher. It's just men, women, young, old. Everybody kind of has the same questions, the same concerns, the same scary thoughts, right? And a lot of times, it all boils down to one thing. Rob, how do I really break into tech, man? How the hell do I do this? I see people saying they're making 6 figures, working remotely, doing some other stuff. How the hell do I do that? Now, look, man, I helped a bunch of people get certified, get skills and land, jobs that literally change, I don't know what hell, I'm gonna swallow my tongue, but literally change their lives, right? Making double what they was making before. And what I've learned pretty much from teaching other people and helping other people break into tech is that it's not really a lack of opportunity, right? So a lot of times people saying AI is taking all the jobs. People they send the jobs overseas. Yeah, if you're doing some bullshit, yeah. If you're not one of them ones, yeah. If you don't have the right skill set, all those things are going to severely impact your opportunities. To be honest, a lot of time people just asking the wrong questions, right? And it's not your fault necessarily because you don't know what you don't know. So one of the number one questions that I get, right, is okay, what jobs are hiring? What tech jobs are in demand? What tech jobs, what tech field should I get into? And that kind of has a different answer for everybody. Now there's some generalities, some generic shit I can tell you, but it really depends on what you want to do, right? So before I tell you what the hottest fields are, or whatever, make sure that you go after something that is your strong suit, right? Go after something that you like. Go after something that you are well equipped to do. Because just because cybersecurity or AI, whatever is the hot topic right now, or that's what's pumping, or that's what's making money, doesn't mean that's the shit that you should be doing because you may burn out, you may never progress, you may never be able to get into it just because that's not your lane, right? So let me hit you with a few statistics. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, tech jobs and occupations are projected to grow faster than average. So about 300 to 400,000 new openings per year for the next 10 years, right? So that's millions and millions and millions of jobs. Specifically, cybersecurity roles are expected to increase by 32% in the next decade. A lot of that is due to AI, right? Because AI right now is kind of like the wild, wild west, kind of doing whatever the hell they want to do. And there's so many different layers and complexities that need to be put in place and worked aside AI to make sure it's safe, make sure that it's not doing nothing crazy. So compliance is one part of cybersecurity and just cybersecurity in general. If you do anything in cybersecurity, it's almost going to future proof, fail proof. No matter what the fuck they do with AI, they still need to make sure it's secure. Because if you let AI rock out on its own, it's no bueno, right? And a lot of times, if you do let it rock out on its own, it's not going to do shit anyway. That's one of the biggest things. AI is artificial intelligence, right? It is trying to replicate, duplicate, supplement for real intelligence, the shit that you got in your noggin, right? So with artificial intelligence, you have to make sure that it is aligned with cybersecurity. As AI grows, cybersecurity is going to grow as well. Cloud computing is another sector that's going to grow by at least 20%. And data and AI roles are probably going to either be right at the same amount as cybersecurity or a little bit more, right? So data, cloud computing, cybersecurity, all of those roles, all of those fields are going to continue to grow, continue to be in demand. Now, just understand cybersecurity, data, AI, all of these roles may be your end goal, but it may not be where you start, right? May be your end goal, but it may not be where you start, right? Just like baking a fucking cake. You got to have different ingredients. You got to have butter, sugar, cake mix, uh, spices. I don't know what the fuck, whatever goes in a cake. You gotta have all of those ingredients. And then you got to put them in the oven at the right temperature. Then at the end, you get a cake. It isn't just, okay, I got the ingredients, so bam, where the hell is the cake at? It's a process and procedures that you have to do, right? So you got to understand with AI and the growth of technology, it's not just in one place. It's all, every field you can think of is going to be impacted and affected by how fast things are growing, whether it's hospitals, logistics, retail, manufacturing, even government agencies. All of these places need to secure things, and they need to stay on track and on path and in line with all of the things that's going on, right? Now, some of the things that are in demand right now, right? So, like I said, your end goal may be to be a cybersecurity engineer, but you may have to start off at a IT support specialist, right? And on average, an IT support specialist, you may, I don't want that job, blah, blah. On average, they're making about 60K, right? So starting off, you may have to start as an IT support specialist and then work your way up to a network administrator, which can make 70, 80K. And then go up to cybersecurity analyst, which can make 85 to 90 something, right? Then go up to cloud support engineer, or, cybersecurity cloud support can be about the same, or you could be a data analyst, which is probably going to be around 60 or 70. So all of those fields are in demand. So make sure that if you're thinking about breaking into tech, make sure that you try to get into a field that is growing instead of dying, right? Even if you have to initially get into a lane or a job that may seem like it's dying or may seem like it's not going to be around for too long, just get into it right now so you can get your feet wet, understand what's going on, and then level up, if that makes sense. So I had a student not too long ago, and he used to work night shift at a warehouse. He was either at a warehouse or at a warehouse. He was working for one of the biggest, you can fill in the blank, one of the biggest companies in the damn world that can drop off packages in the middle of the night, anytime, get shit to you the next day. And he got A plus and Network plus. And then he ended up landing the job making a lot more and working a lot less. He was making, I don't want to say what he was making before, but he ended up getting a help desk role, and he was making a little bit over 60,000. Then after that, he was working for like a small startup company for help desk. And then after that, about, I want to say 4 to maybe 6 months after that, he actually started working for a medical supply company doing security stuff for them, cybersecurity stuff for them before he even got Security Plus. I told him to get Security Plus and then he can renegotiate, the terms, blah, blah, blah. But it's just so many different lanes and so many different ways to, get money and do stuff like that, right? So if you're listening to this right now, right, you saying like, man, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if it's room for me. I don't know if it's oversaturated. The data says the exact opposite. There's more room than ever if you're not a lazy piece of shit. And 2, if you're willing to work and learn. I will tell you this right now. If you are just thinking you're going to get some certs, shit going to be smooth, you're going to have to never learn nothing again, blah, blah, blah. Hell no. Hell no. I've been in this for 20 years. I still have to brush up on stuff, learn stuff, look at stuff, get certs, do this, do that, just to stay on pace, not to get ahead, just to stay on pace. There's new stuff coming out, blah, blah, blah. And then on top of that, you want to make sure that you are, ahead of the curve, or at least shit, not getting left behind. So that's one of the main reasons that I'm always on top of my stuff, because I want to make sure that when I tell you guys something, I know what the hell I'm talking about. That when people walk into job interviews, that they will be good to go, and that they can pass these certifications, right? That they can pass these certifications. Now, another big one, which is a little surprising to me, because shit, I've been doing this for so long, and this has been a question that's kind of been around since the beginning. And that question is, can I still get into tech without a degree? Do I need a degree? This one come up a lot. I guess these colleges are doing a good fucking job marketing and advertising. You don't. Nope. Nope. Hell no. Not at all. No. You do not need that piece of paper to get into tech. You need skills, not a bunch of debt, right? So right now, almost 60% of U.S. employers say they don't give a damn about degrees. They actually removing degree requirements from roles that used to be degree only. If you have a degree, you couldn't get a damn interview. And that's from the Harvard Business Review. You know, that big ass college? An actual college is saying, hey, uh, the employers don't really give a damn about these degrees no more. Now, if you get a degree from Harvard, which nobody fucking listen to this podcast probably has, that'll probably do you some good, right? But you're gonna have an ass of debt going to Harvard. If you have a degree from Harvard and you're listening to this, put in the comments when you graduated and what you're doing right now. All right, so big companies like tech companies like Google, IBM, Tesla, Apple, Meta, they all going public. You're like, hey, we don't give a fuck about the degree. Can you do the actual job? They want skills, or they want proof you can do this shit, and they want people who can deliver, who can actually execute. But it's one part that most people miss. Just because you don't need a degree doesn't mean anyone can do it, right? Just because, I don't need a degree. Listen, I made, I think the episode right before this one, tech is not for everybody. Actually, watch that episode right before. I think that's what the fuck the name of the episode is. Tech is not for everybody. Just because you don't need a degree, just because you don't need to go to school and get a bunch of debt and blah, blah, get a couple certs, it does not mean that this shit is sweet. It does not mean that it's easy. It does not mean that it's for you. Trust me, it's a bunch of people who have no business trying to get into tech. Watch that last episode and you kind of, find out if you one of them dumbass people. All right, so it's a few things that you need, right? Because your ass, you probably gonna watch it anyway. So I'm gonna give you a summary of what the last episode was about, and what you really need. It's really just like three things. You need a baseline level of intelligence, right? I ain't saying you got to be a genius, but you have to be able to think, troubleshoot, and adapt to changes really quickly. You got to have the right mindset. That's one of the biggest fucking things, because that's another thing. You can be smart as hell, but have the wrong mindset, think that you know everything, think you can't nobody teach you nothing. Good luck with that. And you got to have a little bit of leverage, right? This is one of the biggest things that kind of threw people off. It's easier to get a job when you already got a job. If you want that fully explained, like I said, watch the last episode. So if you are really, 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 really want to get into tech, I think the second one is the most important. Having that right mindset. And then, like I said, having a gig already gives you a lot of leverage and helps things along. So there's a research group called Career Plug, and they report that recruiters, the people that recruit and look for people to give jobs to, are 3 times more likely to hire candidates who are already employed, already got a job, versus people who are unemployed. So just keep that in mind. So if you're already working, even if you hate that job, you got to use it as leverage. Do not quit your job before you got some other shit lined up. So, no, you don't need a degree. You need a foundation. You need to think clearly, and you need to commit to getting into tech. Another question that I get a lot is, how do I stand out, right? Everybody want to get into tech. Everybody, it's thousands of people applying to shit the same job. How do I stand out? So you may see posts that say shit like, entry level job. You need 3 years of experience. And you're like, okay, how the hell am I supposed to get experience if I want nobody to give me a damn job? This is the reality, man. Things are a little bit different. According to LinkedIn and CompTIA, 28% of openings require 0 to 3 years of experience. So that's your window. Another about 30 to 40% require, 4 to 7 years. And a lot of times that's for senior level positions. So you don't have to get lucky. You just got to position yourself, right. And believe it or not, I always tell my students, you got experience. And after I talk to them or their career coach talks to them, they fully understand, okay, this is how I break it down. This is what I need to put on my resume. I got these certs. And then, they start landing jobs. If you are listening to this podcast, right, you're using some type of technology, so you have experience. Trust me, you have experience. You just need to sit down, think about it. You talk to GPT about it, and you can come up with some fucking experience, right? Actually, according to a 2024 report by Hunter, it showed that being able to adapt, right? It's having adaptability and being able to problem solve outranked even technical skills in early career IT goals or roles. So being able to analyze and critically think is a task that will get you paid. Being a problem solver is a skill that will get you paid. If you can solve people's problems, you will never have to worry about being broke, ever. So this actually reminds me of Jasmine. So she was actually a healthcare admin. She was working a lot of hours. She was making around 50,000. She was burnt out and she was tired of the politics. That was her words, right? Politics meaning whatever you want that to mean, right? I guess a lot of people in healthcare, that's one of the biggest things they bring up is, man, just the politics. I guess, I don't know, whatever that means to you. She was tired of playing that game. So she came to us, got in the program, revamped her IT resume, and showed her all of the skills that she had that was transferable. Documentation, troubleshooting, HIPAA compliance. She passed A+, and she started applying for jobs. And within about 6 weeks, she landed her first tech job, making more than 50 grand and working less, right? Certs opened the door, man. But her story, her experiences prior to getting into tech is, what really got her hired. So when I said position yourself, I mean, stop leading with what you don't have. I ain't got this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. Start showcasing what you already got on the table, right? Start emphasizing on the shit you can do, not what you can't do. That's how you get interviews, man. And that's how you actually get a job. Another thing that a lot of people ask me are, damn, I guess I didn't, goddamn, I wasn't no English major. Another question that a lot of people ask me is, they don't even know what's holding them back until I put the mirror up and make it crystal clear. Hey, this is the bullshit that's stopping you. And I think a lot of people don't know what the real obstacles are that, hold a lot of people back. Now, this may be a little uncomfortable, but that's where you grow, being uncomfortable, right? Here are the 3, maybe 4 reasons that most people don't make it in tech. And I'm going to re-emphasize something that I already said. Number 1, lack of focus, which most times means lack of intelligence. You don't need to just memorize answers. You need to understand and learn the principles of why you're doing certain things, right? Tech changes so fast that you can't just memorize shit, because whatever you memorize might be different a month or 2 later. If you can't troubleshoot, if you can't connect the dots, if you can't put stuff together, it's going to be hard for you, man. Another thing is this. Don't have the wrong mindset and play the long game. Do not go for fast money. Go for mastery. Don't go for fast money. Go for mastery. Because the long money, trust me, is way better than, just a quick hit and a quick lick. Go for mastery. Think about the long term. One certification does not equal a 100K job, okay? It just don't work like that. And some people, when they take a cert and they fail, or they get a cert and then they get a job making 50, say, oh, I thought, what the fuck is my Lamborghini at? It don't work like that. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it takes time. According to McKinsey, about 50% of all workers, right, need reskilling by 2027. That's a year from now. And the ones who adapt the fastest is the ones that's going to win and keep on getting job offers, job promotions, and all that type of stuff. Last but not least is the leverage piece, right? Desperation doesn't look good on anybody. Desperation really kills momentum. If you're behind on bills, you can't study. You can't plan because you're panicking. That's why I tell people, get stable first, right? Get some bread coming in first. If you're in survival mode, you got to get out of survival mode so you can thrive. Can't study, can't do all this other shit, and you trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna keep these lights on, how I'm gonna get some food in the refrigerator, how I'm gonna feed my kids. You can't do that. So you got to get into a space to where you're at least stable before you try and, because getting into that's the biggest thing. This ain't just some shit you just study, get a cert or two. It's very difficult. It's so rewarding, but this shit is hard as fuck. So if you already feel like you drowning, fucking ready to quit, ready to give up, you got to get into a better space first and then try this later on. And look, man, I'm not judging you. It's just the reality. I've seen single parents win, soldiers, nurses, truck drivers, everybody in between, high schoolers, everybody. You can reinvent yourself, get certified, and get a job. And a lot of people I've seen when they kind of had one thing in common, they was not full of shit. They treated it just like a mission, like not a hobby, not some nice to have. They treated this shit like they didn't have no other option. I got to make this work. I got to make this happen. I cannot go back to this warehouse. I cannot go back to this fucking hospital. I cannot go back in this fucking truck. I cannot go back to this damn department store. I cannot go back to this fast food place. I cannot go back to this fucking warehouse. I can't go back to this bullshit. I got to go get some skills. I got to get some certifications. I got to go get a good job. And I got to fucking provide for myself and my family. This is not it. This can't be life. The last question is, what the fuck am I supposed to do? What's the roadmap? What's the steps? I want to get into tech, but I don't know what the fuck to do, which is understandable. So this is real simple. We're going to bring it home real quick. Google University is going to have your ass spinning in circles. YouTube University is going to have you lost than a motherfucker. So here's the same roadmap that I use and that I use for thousands and thousands and thousands of people to get certified and get into tech. First thing, get A+. This is going to teach you everything you need to know and be the foundation for you so you fully understand how troubleshooting actually works. It's an entry point that proves that you can handle kind of whatever tech is going to throw at you on a foundational level. And that one takes people that are doing it on their own about 6 months to a year to knock out. Our students are doing it in 30 days, but if you want to do it on your own, you can do it in 6 months to a year. If speed is important to you, rock out with us. If you think you have all the time in the world, you can do it on your own. After that, get Network Plus. This is going to show you how everything connects: routers, switches, firewalls, VPNs, the whole shebang bang. This cert is going to open up more networking and system roles and a higher salary. You'll really start understanding how everything works when you get Network Plus. Now, the big bag. After you get A plus and Net Plus, you can learn how to protect the systems. And cybersecurity is the most in-demand tech discipline right now on the planet, even ahead of AI, because you have to secure that. You gotta secure that fucking AI shit. And the average salary for somebody that has been in tech, has these certifications for a year or more, is 85,000 plus. Easy to touch 100 grand, easy within 2 years, 3 years. But you have to keep on keeping on and keep on doing what you need to do, because nobody's going to give you anything. These 3 certifications, though, are going to build your foundation, and they're going to prove to employers that, hey, this person is serious about this stuff and know what the hell they're doing. Let's bring them on the team. And you have leverage because you got all these certifications. You got the skill set. You can get a promotion. You can get a raise. You can get to where you need to get to, especially if you're working for an organization where the shit is black and white, or you make a black and white form. Okay, what do I got to do to get a 10K raise? What do I got to do to get promoted? Oh, if you do XYZ, then you get promoted. Okay, do XYZ plus 1, 2, 3. So it ain't shit to talk about when it's time to get some money and when it's time to get promoted, right? And the whole thing is this, man. I'm not telling you this because I wanted to make a fucking video. I'm telling you this because I've lived through it. You know, I've taught people when I was a soldier overseas. I've helped vets, teachers, barbers, warehouse workers, parents, so many different people turn their lives completely around. And through all of that, I learned this truth. Tech is not about being perfect. It's about slow progression. Every day, get 1% better, right? It's about discipline. It's about being able to adapt. It's about consistency. Every person I've seen win had one thing in common. They refuse to stay the same, man. They refuse to keep doing the same thing. They refuse to live a mediocre life where they were not reaching their full potential. So if you listen to this and you're serious about breaking into tech, I need you to do 2 things. Number 1, in the comments, tell me your biggest takeaway from this episode. And let me know which of these 5 questions hit you the hardest and what your answer is. Number 2, make sure that you take action. Don't just listen to this episode. Take action and share it with at least one person who you know can benefit from it. Because like I said, this ain't no podcast just for fucking entertainment and I just want to get on here and just talk. No, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to transform your life. I'm trying to help those who want to help themselves. That's one of the biggest things. Only people I want to talk to, only people I want to deal with is the people that know they have a problem. They're just not sure on how to fix it, and they're ready to work and ready to execute, right? Getting a tech job isn't the goal. Freedom is the goal. Reaching our full potential is the goal. Stay focused, and I'll see you in class.